The Vice President of the Trade Union Federation, Cyprian Montrop, says the union umbrella body is extremely disappointed with the progress of public sector negotiations thus far. Montrop says the TUF has dispatched a letter to the Prime Minister urging that the government ensure that negotiations can progress smoothly. He says the TUF and its members are not at all satisfied with the pace of public sector negotiations.
As of Friday, we had not received any communications from the government, and therefore we dispatched a letter to the Prime Minister asking that he proceed on his to try to get this apparatus working. We are very much dissatisfied with the progress that the government has made with regards to setting up those two bodies to actually discuss the fringe benefits. And also we are very disappointed, not even at this point in time, receiving a date to continue the wage negotiations. And part of that agreement from the 7th was that we would have concluded negotiations on by February 15th.
Montrop says after Thursday's meeting, the TUF will decide whether it goes back to its members to discuss the way forward. He says the TUF has made it very clear to the government negotiating team that the patience of its members is wearing thin. He says the GNT must understand that the TUF will not tolerate stall tactics.
Currently, at the pace that the GNT is going, we recognize either they are not too serious in getting the negotiations completed by February 15th, or they prepared to drag the negotiations past the collective agreement period, which is ended in March of this year.
And that is something that the union did not want.
And that is something the unions do not accept at all. As part of the letter that we penned to the Prime Minister, we did indicate the growing impatience of our members. Bearing in mind, we have given the government sufficient time in which to respond to the union's requests and what the workers are seeking for at this point in time.
But Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony has a different take on the matter. He says the GNT is up to speed on the issue of negotiations and that the team has a packed schedule ahead of it.
I have been keeping a close eye on the process and exerting as much influence as I can to ensure that the negotiations continue. The information that I have in my possession indicate as follows. First, the negotiating team met with the National Workers' Union sometime last week, and you have to remember that the negotiations do include the National Workers' Union because they represent mainly daily paid workers and some other fortnightly workers. This afternoon, that is Tuesday, January 2nd, the negotiating team is meeting with the Police Welfare Association at 3 o'clock. Then tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning, the negotiating team is meeting with the Vieux Fort General and Dock Workers Union.
The Prime Minister says the GNT has indicated its readiness to meet with a number of unions and associations, including the Nurses Association, the Fire Association, the NWU, and the Medical and Dental Association. He says based on Montrop's statements, he is not sure the trade unionist is informed about what is taking place with the ongoing negotiation process. Lovely St. Amy Joseph, HDS News Force.